I guess it's high time we need to bid farewell to Chetan Bhagat upon writing his mystery and suspense thrillers genre books, because this book, One Arranged Murder, has been huge flop, at least over my bookshelf. And what if I say that I have got a better book from an Indian author who has written a mystery novel way better than this? Yes, so today's review is all gonna be Only the Good Die Young, and subtitle is And I am Not a Saint. This is written by Akash Verma. I'm so thankful for him to be sending this book to me for reviewing, and I thoroughly enjoyed reading every part of this book. Everyone, thanks so much for watching ATP, that's Among the Pages, where I talk about the books and the content written among their pages. Well, this is Achyut Murari. I'm a medico plus a poet, and fortunately I talk about the books and personal development tips over this channel, so make sure you're subscribing and liking this video to find more such bookish content. So as we have discussed, today is a review of Only the Good Die Young and I'm Not a Saint. Let's dive into the video then. This book was a sequel of a greater sold book called You Never Know, which has garnered pretty great reviews over Goodreads, and I was lucky enough to be getting my hands over that book too as an ebook, and I have read it on my Kindle, and I'm super happy, for which I have picked up. But nevertheless, if at all you were supposed to be buying this book in the first, then I think absolutely you do not require to be getting your hands upon the first book, because in every aspect this book covers all the pretty much information which you get after reading the first book. But if you do not want to miss a great suspense thriller, then you must be picking up the first book, which is titled You Never Know, and it is gonna be super duper read if at all you pick this up. And this book has 280 pages. It took me about half a day to finish reading this, and I could not put it down even while I was having my lunch, because every bit of this and every page of this book feels so intriguing that you just cannot think of doing any other aspect. Because I can give you this trigger warning that if at all you are starting reading this book, please make sure you do not have any great or most important tasks to be done, because if at all you start reading this book, you are gonna be into this. The positive aspects, the first one is the differently changing point of views of every chapter. In each chapter is being presented from the point of view of another person, and they are the main characters of this book are Dhruv, there is Shalini, there is Aman, and there is Anuradha. Out of this, Dhruv and Anuradha are the typically persons who love each other, and Shalini is Dhruv's wife, and Aman is a new character who was introduced into this book, and he is like a great business tycoon, and he can literally spoil off, he can create, he is the nasty person and whatnot. And apart from this, the most nasty guy of all this, even in the first and second books, were Sid. This book is not at all written in a third person form. It is written from differently changing point of views. That is, first the book opens up with the point of view of Sid, where he tells his story, and then there's Dhruv, and then there is Anuradha. Pretty much I feel Anuradha gets a lot of pages in this book. She has the greatest time slot given to her in this book rather than Dhruv. So I can say that Anuradha basically is the most important person and the protagonist of this book, who eventually dies. The second very much important point which I pretty much loved in this book is the author Akash Verma has made a very great and very decisive decision of actually creating a character called Anuradha, who is a strong, brave, independent woman. Basically, in all the novels which I have read, at least in this book which I have read, the female protagonist is so weak. She is under the hands or clutches of another person who dictates her own life. Akash Verma has done such a great attempt in actually creating Anuradha, who is actually the true feminist sort of, because she has her own sort of opinions, she has her own sort of mindset, she has her own standards which are set in and around her. So I love this character, and I really appreciate the author for writing a woman-centric one, even in the genre of mystery, especially from India. The third point which I super liked in this book is the opening chapter, which is from the point of view of Sid, who is actually the antagonist of this book. So basically, I was aghast to know the fact that a book actually begins from the point of view of an antagonist. Most of the books start with the opening scenes of protagonist staying in some other place, or him being telling some story or not. But in this book, the opening chapter is basically of the antagonist, which feels really appreciable. That was something really creative, at least out of the books which I have read till date. The third most important point which I love out of this book is the new techniques of killing which is being present in this book. At least, as a matter of fact, these are the spoilers, so make sure you're I don't know, it's your opinion if at all you want to watch this video, because it's spoiler from here. So basically, the antagonist called Sid, who actually gets, he orders masks which can actually alter his physical appearance from Italy, and he can easily change them off and try to evict or kill the people he doesn't like. So that is a new form which I pretty much loved. I generally have watched these sort of things, or these sort of fantastical things only occurring in somewhere in Bollywood movies, which feels baseless. But in this book, this scene or this scenario of changing the masks, getting them from Italy, and getting a new identity completely feels a great option. The last most important point which I absolutely loved in this book is each and every chapter and each and every line is much important. Generally, there are some chapters which people or the authors call as buffer chapters, which add pages to the book, they add volume to the book, but they are actually worthless. You can actually skip those chapters and you can proceed with any other chapter furthermore. But the most important aspect which I found in this book is you do not have any buffer chapters in that. Each and every chapter, each and every line must be read unless and until you are super evident of what is going on in there. If at all you skip any one chapter, you will be completely in this doubt scenario that what is actually happening, because of continuously changing point of views. The story is being split into numerous parts, which eventually feels a little disgusting for us, but we need to be reading each and every line in each and every chapter the way it is being presented in this book. Only then can you actually understand what is the story plot. And coming to the negative points. See, negative points are something which occur in every book, and I found only one negative aspect in this book, and that was usage of too much profanity and too much of profane words, which I did not like. There were humongous amounts of usage of unparliamentary words in the daily conversations maybe, but I felt that was not the language which I expect to be reading in a mystery book, which is actually being read by a whole range of people, right from a 10-year-old kid to our age of 50 years person. So using such an unparliamentary language in such a great book which is having a great storyline feels a little disappointing, and because of which I have actually need to cut a star down, and I could undoubtedly give this book a 4 out of 5 star rating without any doubt. And I can easily recommend this book to any fiction and thriller loving psychological suspense also people like who are trying to begin with mystery or psychological thrillers genre. I can easily suggest this book to all such people, because this is such a great start with very easy English, with very less usage of vocabulary words, and easily approachable aspect. The other, and coming to the most lovable aspect of this book apart from the literature, was the cover. So the cover basically depicts a person in a hood, and there is a landscape of the city. So basically the whole setting is set in Mumbai, and the story revolves where Sid, this guy, is the bad one who actually tries to come and kill Anuradha, because somehow Anuradha has ruined his life. You all need to get it only when you're reading this book. If at all I tell you this, that will be spoilers. So I love every bit of the cover page also, and thank you so much for writing such a great book, Akash. That was really awesome. So coming to the spoilers, I would just tell the whole story in just one or two, a couple of lines maybe. That would make the whole story way easier for me to tell you. So basically there is this Dhruv, who is the protagonist, who actually loves Anuradha. It's clear till here, but basically Dhruv is a married guy who is married to Shalini, and they are already having 2 kids. So it's an extramarital affair of Dhruv, and Anuradha somehow is in deep love with him. Basically, Anuradha's ex-lover is Sid, who is not a good person, and he tries to get sexually explicit content from Anuradha, and he tries to blackmail her only for money. So Anuradha dumps this guy, she ruins his life, and she runs away, and she eventually falls in love with Dhruv, and they are happy-go-lucky till there. But the real problem arises here when actually Sid comes back into the scenario, and there is this new character introduction from the first, not from the first book, and that is Aman, who is a rich big entrepreneur. And Anuradha, pretty much when she moves to Mumbai, she needs to stay at her home. She finds Aman's house very appealing, and Aman is very generous to be giving her a great flat only for a cheap cost. Eventually, she gets into this flat, and each night, Aman comes and gives her a bottle of whiskey or wine. She takes it, and throughout the course of the book, we understand that he is actually being poisoning her. As a matter of fact, he was actually providing her with sedatives, which makes her unconscious while she's asleep. And by using this opportunity, Aman actually sexually abuses Anuradha. That is all the story all about. So basically, eventually, Anuradha figures out who Aman is, what are his bad intentions, and so there is a good story end. But there is Sid who comes back and tries to come into Aman's house. Sid is none other, he actually is working under Aman so that he can get a clearer view of Anuradha and Dhruv. So this story revolves with so much intense psychological thriller aspects. Eventually, Anuradha kills Sid. In that process, she need to push Sid out of a window, and in that process, she too voluntarily jumps out of that. In that manner, she kills herself too. So Anuradha is dead, Sid is dead, Aman is killed, and only left person is Dhruv and Shalini, who eventually find a happier place and they live happily ever after in their marriage. So this is all of the story. I'm so glad that the author sent me this copy, and I am gonna store this in the most lovable aspects of my bookshelf. So